Where does it come from? I think when I started in the outdoor adventure sports realm over a decade ago, there were a lot less women. And I think I've seen that grow, and I know how much it does for me, not only physically but mentally. Like, it is the reason I get out of bed in the morning. And it's crazy to have gone from being like one of four women in at a whole event to there now being, 20 of us. And if it's doing so much for me and giving me so much, I can't imagine how many other women and girls there are out there that are missing out on this potential, potentially really empowering thing.
Welcome to Chasing Rabbits, the space where we sit down with women who refuse to play small, who rewrite the rules, and who show us what's possible when we listen to that inner voice that says, there's more. I am your host, Alicja. I am a runner, a yoga teacher, a mountain lover, a coach, a retreat host, and a general jack of all trades. But here, my goal is to get you inspired by other women and to make you realize and see the power you have to inspire other people around you. In today's conversation, I'm sitting down with Ellie Berry of Tough Souls. Ellie is a runner, a hiker, she is a horse rider, she is a rock climber, she is a videographer and photographer, and she uses all of her skills in work. She is an incredibly inspiring woman who brings the outdoors to people, in front of people, and she makes it a little bit more accessible. So herself and her partner Carl created Tough Souls many moons ago. I remember I first came across them in 2000 and I don't know, 17 or 18, something like that, when I was researching the Grand Canal, and I realized that the two of them hiked or walked every Waymarked Trail in Ireland, which is absolutely incredible. And they blogged about it. They have a YouTube channel where they document everything they do. Ellie also went off and completed the Vandeleur-Lynam list in one of the worst summers in the history of the country. Lashing rain nearly every single day. And she still holds the women's record for completing it. She is really inspiring and such a sweet and warm person to talk to. I hope you're gonna enjoy the show. I did enjoy having this conversation with Ellie, and I do hope that I'll be able to meet her somewhere on the trails to have more chats, a little bit more personal than what we did. Anyway, enjoy the show and let me know what you thought. Today we are chatting to Ellie Berry from Tough Souls, who I first came across in, I think it was 2018 or 19.
Oh, whoa.
Which is a good few years ago, yeah. Back then, it was the first time I was thinking of doing the Grand Canal way. I wanted to run.
Cool.
I wanted to run from Shannon Harbour to Dublin, and obviously I had absolutely no clue about about it. So I used the Google search, and the first page that came up was Tough Souls and your adventure with the Grand Canal. And I was like, oh my God, these two people are so cool. They are walking all the trails in Ireland and actually documenting it. And I remember just being like, Wow, it is just so amazing because I remember from when I first came to Ireland, I used to always go out there and explore the mountains. But back then, not many people did that. There
Mm.
wasn't, be outdoors, there wasn't that many people in the outdoors. So
No.
to find somebody that was actually documenting all of that was really super cool. So I will start with a question, a personal question to you,
Hmm.
which is how was the Ellie that we see today, the outdoorsy Ellie, how was she born? So when did
Ooh.
that happen and and how?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think, strangely enough, she was born partially, at least the version that you see today, she was born in an indoor climbing gym. So, a gravity climbing gym in Inchicore is how I met so many of the wonderful outdoorsy people that are still in my life to this day. And I think it's because I went there and I met all these people. Because I started climbing there when I was like 18. And so I met people of all ages who brought me out into the Wicklow Mountains and into the hills, or told me about ideas that I would never have thought about otherwise. And it's also where I met my partner Carl. So I think in the simplest answer is probably gravity climbing gym.
So it happened indoors that you then went outdoors.
Yeah. Because I definitely I was definitely a very outdoorsy, active kid in the kind of traditional sense of when you were young and your parents said, "Okay, it's sunny, you're not allowed inside the house. I'll see you at dinner time," and you're just kind of thrown outside. So while I don't think I can say that I like grew up in the hills, I definitely grew up outside, making my own amusement, climbing trees, that kind of outdoorsy childhood. So I definitely loved the outdoors. But then it was only when I went to college in Dublin that I met people doing really cool, amazing adventures that I'd only dreamed about, and realized that I could join them and go and go outside.
And so I know that you don't only hike and walk, you
Mm.
run, you horse ride, you swim, you do so many, so many different things. So which of the disciplines was first? Was it the horse riding?
It was, yeah. Yeah, I started that when I was about 6, I would say. Yeah. That was my passion. That was what I did until I was 18. And that was my sport. I loved it so much. And I think it gave me a lot more than I realized. I rode a lot of strong ponies. So I was physically fitter than I realized. I didn't know it was unusual for a teenage girl to be able to do as many pull-ups as I could do, or all that kind of stuff. But I just loved getting to the hours and hours that whole lifestyle took. I was incredibly lucky to get to own some of my own ponies. And so you have to spend hours cleaning stables and cleaning equipment and cleaning them to then get your 45 minutes on the horse. So that, I think, gave me a really good self-motivation ethic. Like, there was no other reason that I could ever fathom why 16-year-old me would get up at 6 in the morning. Like, there was nothing else in the world that was going to persuade me to get up at 6 in the morning, apart from getting to go out on the horse before school. So, yeah.
And it is such because I remember my sister used to do a lot of horse riding when she was a teenager as well, and like that for her to get up in the morning and to do hard work
Mm-hmm.
because it
Yeah.
is hard work. Like there had to be a reward, and I suppose for you the reward of having the chance to ride a horse
Mm.
was also was the motivator to go out there and take the shovel and clean the horse shit and everything.
Yeah, it really, I think it instilled a really good work ethic in me. Yeah, I'm really glad I
Mm-hmm.
had it.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you think, does it still stand for you now?
Definitely, definitely. And it's actually something I'm so grateful to have been able to come back to now as an adult as well. So, from the age of 18 to about 28, 29, I basically didn't get to ride a horse. And then I moved to the northwest up here in Northwest Common, and found a affordable horse riding school and got to get back on the horse again, and had a much deeper appreciation for the level of fitness I had when I was 16, because I had the muscle memory but just not the muscle at all. Like at all. Oh, it was a really good learning curve.
Oh God. And so do you think that all those disciplines that you do, uh, they also help you with your everyday life? Because you would be on the hills quite a lot, I would presume, especially that it's not just that you go out for a hike. If you want to tell us as well the real work that goes behind all the videos and everything that you create. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna go for a walk and have a good time. There's so much more that goes behind this, that happens behind the scenes. Do you want to tell us a little bit, give us a little peek behind the scenes?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it all like it's all kind of built up on itself in the last, because we started Tough Souls in 2017, and if you've been following since 2018, if that's kind of when you looked up the Grand Canal, like, oh, some of the, I haven't gone back to watch those really early videos because we had no idea what we were doing when we started in 2017. I had studied photography, so I knew how to turn on and use the camera, but I'd never filmed or recorded or audio or any of that stuff back then. So it has been a long, steep learning curve for the last 9 years, and which is both wonderful in that I think there is a noticeable difference in quality between the videos now and the videos then, but also I now kind of hold myself to a higher standard. So like, the only carbon fiber thing I own is my camera tripod. I don't have a carbon fiber bike or, whatever. But the camera tripod is. And the camera itself is an investment. And yeah, so I guess the reason Carl and I started documenting the trails was because we were looking to go out and experience them, but couldn't find any information ourselves. And we were like, well, we'll at least share our experience. And I really love documenting it and sharing it, and hearing then from other people afterwards that they used our resources to get out and find new things near them. So for documenting a trail, it's charging up all the batteries, having the camera ready. Like, if it's a less than 20k, like one day easy day hike, the average pace for the whole day would be about 3k an hour, which sounds insanely slow, especially if you're a runner. But by the time I film all the different shots in different locations and then like walk to the next area, and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful, I want to film here as well. And for some people that would drive them absolutely cracked. They would not be able to be like, oh God, it's going to take me like 5 hours to do 12k or something. And it doesn't always take that long. Like, it obviously shifts, but I just feel really lucky that I get to kind of half count that as a job. That I'm like, oh no, I'm spending more time in the hills. Oh no. Like, it's really a pleasure for me to get to spend that much time outside. So the fact that it's a bit slower, I really don't mind.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
And it is such a privilege, isn't it, to be able to do
yes.
what you love for work.
Yeah.
It's it's so beautiful, and it's also what we see, we as people who watch your stuff, we see the
Oh, good.
love, we see that it is your passion, and that I think, it's just, it's so worth doing because it makes you happy, but it
Yeah.
also makes other people happy who watch it.
Yeah. I'm really glad it comes across because, yeah, like, yeah.
And so tell me, what was it? So, the majority of people look of Ireland and they see a tiny little island somewhere on the ocean. And but you yourself and Carl, obviously, you saw something more. You saw that that Ireland has so much to offer. And how how did you so how obviously how did Tough Souls come to life? Because I read a little things online, but I would like you to tell us, how did you just say, listen, let's do it?
I think what's interesting in how you said that just there is that, like, when you look at Ireland, you see such a tiny island. That is definitely what I grew up with. It's what everyone grows up with where they're from. And it wasn't until we would go abroad. And so Carl and I, all our early adventures and all our early travel and everything was all abroad in Europe. And no matter where we would go, people would find out we were Irish and they would tell us about the incredible adventures they'd had in Ireland. And they'd tell us about their different connections to, like, either relations, people who now lived there, like everybody. It is insane for how small a place we are, how widespread and connected the Irish culture is. The diaspora is just, it's insane. So basically, the more and more we traveled and the more people were telling us how amazing our home was, we kind of reached a point where we were like, damn, really need to kind of explore that, don't we? We really need to see what everyone's talking about. And so we were in France on a rock climbing trip, and Carl found the list of the National Waymarked Trails of Ireland, and he was like, "Oh, this looks really cool." And so we had done some walking in, like, the Pyrenees in France, and then, like, along the north coast of Spain, and had experienced the incredible infrastructure of walking in mainland Europe. And we were like, oh, yeah, we'll blitz through these. These look incredible. These look amazing. This is only take us a few months. It'd be grand. And then
The
you experience the
reality.
reality. So what we thought was a 6-month project took us 3 years. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change. It's amazing. And I also like the wildness, or the rough and ready, or whatever you want to call it, the infrastructure that we have around our outdoors. A certain amount of it is kind of the magic of Ireland. Like I like the improvement in outdoor infrastructure, and the improvement that I'm anticipating into the future for Ireland outdoors, I think is really, really good and really necessary, and it's definitely coming. And in some areas it's already improved a lot. But I think there's also a lot of charm and magic in the wildness and the rural idyllicness of Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that you're out there and there isn't actually a hut on top of a mountain. There isn't a
No.
cafe where you can have a burger and a coffee. You have to
Yeah.
bring it all on your own back if you want it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
was it that? So did you start Tough Souls and then went on the first adventure?
Yeah.
Or did you
No. So
go, yeah?
it was literally we set up the, like, the website and the Instagram and whatever on, like, the 1st of April 2017, and on the, was it the 17th of April, we set off walking around Ireland. We had the idea, I think, like, so Carl had found that list of trails in, maybe was it 2015 ish, 2015, 2016. and I finished university, and then we were both just working regular jobs in Dublin, and it was the new year of 2017, and we kind of realized that this was like a pivotal potential moment, in that neither of us were like so attached to our work, or like this was the time for me to either start a career in something or go off on another adventure. And so we literally went down and like sat in a cafe, and we were like, okay, maybe we'll go walk all these trails in Ireland. It's like, okay, do we want to have a website maybe about it? Because like we couldn't find any information, and I somehow came up with the name Tough Souls, and Cara was like, that name's great, okay, we're gonna do it. Like it was such a kind of throwaway decision that like completely changed our lives forever.
Yeah.
Which I really, really love. Yeah, so like I think we started walking 6 weeks after we decided to do it, which was pretty great.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Like, oh, I love it. And tell me, so now, because I remember I was chatting to you. We are now in what month? We are in June. Was it last year that we met in the cafe, or was it this year? I actually can't remember. When your
Oh,
uncle was going
yeah,
to
to
UK.
Scotland. Yeah, for that
Yeah.
race. I think that was last year.
Must have been last year. Must have been like September or October or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that.
It was still
Yeah.
nice weather time, but yeah, before winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember you saying to me that your plan now is to go back on the Waymarked ways and set female
Oh,
FKTs on
yeah.
them. So
Oh,
is that still on the cards? Because you have two. You have Cavan and you have
mm.
Leinster.
Yeah, I guess so. Kind of FKTs are a strange thing for me. Running is also just kind of, so I only started running in 2021. I used to have a lot of allergy induced asthma. I didn't realize there was different kinds of asthma growing up, so I just thought that running was never going to be something that I could do. I just thought, the asthma I have just means I can't do it. Anyway, became an adult, figured it all out, decided I wanted to try running during COVID, like the whole nation, to try and stay fit. And it's kind of spiraled into a funny place. I do want to do that. I do. I had a pretty decent winter training block after I saw you, and then I got really, really sick in January, and that just like I just got the flu, and that put it like a really, really, really bad version, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll build up from that again, and the year just kind of got away from me this year so far, and I actually hurt my hip a week ago. I'm kind of hobbling around.
Oh no.
So basically I've penciled a week in for myself at the end of the summer, and I'm gonna go run some trail then, so I'm at least gonna get one in this year, at least one. But yeah, I think when I said that to you, I had like this big master plan. I hadn't, it's so funny, I don't remember telling you that. I told nobody else. You're like the only person who knows that I had that idea. I guess I just because your run of the canal was so cool last year. You did like amazing. So I was like,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I should tell people, and then told nobody else. But anyway, I think I put together a list of kind of 60K or less trails that I was like, okay, I could do like one every 6 weeks. That- yeah, that was literally what I was like. Yeah, okay, we're going hard this one. Once the new year hits, and the wheels fell off a little bit. So what's it? You tell the gods the best way to make the gods laugh is to tell them about your plans. So that's been happening to me a lot this last year.
And tell me about the project. So, what is the reason behind it?
I think it's just to raise awareness, because I'm not a fast runner by any stretch of the imagination. Like I don't really fit into the slow runner kind of online category where people are kind of showcasing that running at 7 or 8 minute kilometers also counts as getting out and being active. But I'm also nowhere near the like high performance, and I'm just your like bang in the middle, very, very average runner. And so I look at all these cool adventures that people could be having on the trails in Ireland and just haven't done, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess if I go do it, I'll set a nice easy benchmark for somebody else to go and break. Like, you know. Because yeah, I really, really love adventure, but I also just really like having a good time. I have yet to kill myself in the I don't know, effort of achieving some big speedy goal. That isn't really my lane. So I think my lane is more to show people what's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also maybe, I suppose it's to kind of the choice of, maybe not the choice, but the idea of you choose what you like doing and you go with it. Like, and who knows, maybe next year or maybe this year you're gonna say, oh sure, fuck it, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna run very fast and I'm going to do, well, maybe not.
Who knows? Yeah, who
And
knows? Exactly. Yeah.
exactly, and you are bringing so much awareness to all these trails, you know. And now tell me about something that, like, I'm absolutely like, I followed your journey every single one of the days of the 50 days that you were out there doing the Vandeleur-Lynam project,
Yes.
which again,
Well,
it
you also have a
hasn't
very
been
intimate experience
yeah,
with that.
the other side of it. I have Carl's experience
Yeah.
of it. But, you know, again, nobody was talking about it. Like, you know, it wasn't out there until you said, fuck it. There is this amazing list of
Yeah.
275 mountains, and I can go and do it. And for me, like, you need to have balls to go out there, you know. And I think it's so worth showcasing again that a woman went out there and climbed all those mountains in, I want to point out, one of the worst summers in
Oh,
Irish history as well. Rain-wise and weather-wise, it
yeah.
was horrendous.
Yeah.
And you went out there and did it. So when did the idea come from again?
So basically, a guy that I know found out that an Englishman had set the record originally, the first record, and he was like, no, we can't be having this. He was far too proud an Irishman to let an Englishman hold the record. And he did a bit of research into it and was like, oh, this is going to be hard. And I just remember hearing about it and thinking that sounds so cool. And then I was looking for some sort of adventure, and Cara was like, oh, well, you remember hearing about the Vandeleur-Lynam list? That sounds really cool. And I was like, yeah, it does. It sounds incredible. I don't know if I could do that, though. And if I took Carl, like, looking back, this is the joys of having somebody that knows you probably better than you know yourself. Like, he could tell that he'd already planted the seed. And so every few days, every week or so, he'd be like, so, you know, those mountains. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's really cool. I just don't think I can do it. I just don't know if it's for me. And I'd be like, oh, if you say so. And it took about 6 months of it just being in my head, of me being like, oh, you know, just being there would be so cool. Like, who cares about a time or whatever? Like, just being there would be amazing. And that was the mentality that I needed to get myself out the door, to take the pressure off and also just imagine the adventure.
Not be thinking I need to go for the record, but
No.
just to be.
Yeah. And actually something that Laura Driscoll said, and the two you kind of said in your interview, was like the simplicity that you fall into in these big projects of just spend the day on your feet, you eat, you sleep, you repeat. Like that, unless you've experienced that, I don't think you understand how magic it is. You just completely fall out of the real world. Your whole world just becomes this bubble of you on an adventure. And it is such a privileged thing to get to experience. It's so amazing. And that was what I knew I'd get if I went off climbing mountains every day for as long as I could. So, you know, who
Yeah.
wouldn't want that?
And it is a beautiful but very dangerous feeling, because once you experience it, you kind of want to go back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So so tell me, because Carl planted the seed of the mountains, um, how did the 50 days look like? Because, well, 50 days plus, because you obviously there was a lot of planning happening before you even set your
Yeah.
foot outside. So was there a lot of sitting above maps and planning the best routes, or how did you and how much of it was Carl's help as well?
Yeah, the planning was like both of us sitting down discussing. Like it had helped having spent 3 years walking trails. We're both quite fast now at, looking at maps, assessing routes, all that kind of stuff. Actually, so how it all then kind of came together was we both looked at global heat maps for ways that other people had gone up the mountains, because there isn't, obviously, as you know, there just aren't trails up most of these places. So finding a heat map that kind of implies that people go up the left hand side of this gully meant that when I'd get there, I'd be like, okay, probably vaguely the left hand side. So it was a lot of that kind of stuff. And what we planned out kind of in detail was the first 2 weeks, because when you undertake a big journey like this and you have somebody supporting you that can kind of tweak things as you go, I had never done something on this scale. And so I kind of knew, okay, once I've got 2 weeks done, I'll know what's working and what's not working. And so there's no point in us planning their whole thing in like super detail for after 2 weeks. I have to be like, okay, Carl, I need you to change all of the remaining days to fit X and Y in. So I think that worked really well, because we've done so much of this together before, that at the end of the 2 weeks, we changed one or two parts of our route plotting system, and we expanded on whatever. And then for the rest of it, we had kind of roughly agreed on the different areas, but then Carl really did the nitty gritty route planning while I was up the hills for a lot of especially a lot of Kerry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Connecting all those mountains and all those ridges and everything. And did you do all the mountains on your own, or did Carl join you for maybe a few?
Carl joined me for a couple. Our friend Kieran also joined us for a week. So he did the peaks with me that I did for that week, kind of North Mayo through Donegal, or half of Donegal. That was kind of the part where he joined us. So he did those peaks with me, and then Carl did some with me. But the vast majority were solo. Like, yeah, a
And
high
which,
percentage.
yeah, yeah. And which did you prefer? Did you prefer to be up there on your own or not?
Oh, I think there was a lot of benefit in both. So Kieran is like over a foot taller than me. He's a really great mountain friend, but because of our height difference, when he's just kind of like striding up the hill at a jog, I'm at like a medium run behind him, which is great because, you know, some days when you're up there by yourself, it's hard to keep pushing the pace. So that's definitely a benefit that you can have in having a second person. You kind of have that accountability. And then there was definitely one day in Dingle where, as you mentioned, the weather, like, it had just driven all of the fun out of me. I was just dead. I was like, this isn't fun. Like, and Carl, I sent him a voice note and he climbed the final peak and was waiting for me.
Sweet.
Yeah. So there's moments like that where it was really lovely to have somebody else. But I really loved being up there by myself as well. Like, I really, really like doing adventures by myself. I don't really like races. I kind of, like this is definitely my preferred style of adventure.
Why do you not like races?
I think I put a lot of pressure on them. To be like really simple about it. Yeah, I think I put a lot of pressure on them. At least with like solo adventures that I just kind of go off and do whenever the mood takes me. Like, not gonna lie, I have not run or I've not been out in as much rain after 2023, after the Vandeleur-Lynams, as I would have gone out before. Before, I was like, okay, come on, you live in Ireland, you gotta suffer through the rain. After the amount of rain that I went through in 2023, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go out every rainy day. That's okay.
I don't have to punish myself every
no,
time.
Exactly. I deserve dry feet sometimes. So I like the freedom that doing adventures solo gives you in the terms of logistics and picking times and days and weather windows and whatever. I really like that. And yeah, I guess the crowds are also just like, they're both, it's funny, once I'm actually at a race, once I'm doing an event, I know from past experience that I love it. Like, actually, so I did the Kerryway Ultra Light that I know you were very familiar with in 2021, and I met some people there that I'm still such incredibly good friends with. And the same with the Eco Trail in Wicklow. Like, I have had the best time and met the best people at races. So I'm in no way against races. I just find them a little bit stressful. So I really prefer the solo adventures at the moment, you know.
Yeah.
We'll see where it all goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And was there ever a moment on the mountains that you felt that this is too much? I am done. Can somebody ring mountain rescue for me? Take me off the mountain. I'm done.
So the summer that I was doing that project, the people on the mountain who recognized me the most were people who were part of different mountain rescue teams. And they'd be out just on their own hike and they'd be like, oh, I've been following you. And we get chatting the part of mountain rescue, and I'm like, I promise I'm being really safe. I've got all the like first aid stuff in my running vest. Like, I've got so much stuff with me. And they'd be like, no, don't worry, we're not here to grill you, to do a impromptu gear inspections. Yeah. I was gonna have to break a leg before I was calling mountain rescue. But there was like, because the weather was so bad, we ended up having to change some of the routes because for safety reasons, like going out for as long a day with the weather being that bad and the thunderstorms and stuff, it didn't really make sense. It was better to do, like, it was a lot harder on my legs to do like multiple shorter routes in a day because you're still having to do that first initial big climb up, but safety wise it was a lot better. But before we made that switch, I had one big day in Wicklow, that like I was going up the hill in the morning and it was only people coming down. They were like, oh, we headed out and realized the weather today is too bad, so we are not going up the mountains. And I'm still there trudging up by myself, and I'm like halfway around that day and I'm like, maybe this was a little silly. But thankfully there are very few places in Ireland where I couldn't have been like, okay, you know what? I need to bail and I'm going to go down the mountain this way. And in 3K, I will find a fire road or a real road or whatever. And I will be able to get out of this situation. There are very few areas of Ireland that you are, like they're wild and they're remote, but they're not so remote that you can't have an escape option as long as you know how to find them.
Yeah. I remember I did a few of the mountains with Sean when he was doing his challenge, and I remember going up to Faha Ridge,
Yeah.
and I have balls. Like I'm not scared of many things apart from cycling, but
I saw your stories today. I was laughing. We'll talk about that later.
yeah, but I said, I'm going, I want to do something with you. I want to see that. And I remember being on Faha Ridge and I was literally holding the rocks. I was on all fours. It was raining. It was windy. It was slippery. I was just like, holy shit. And I think after that, I sent you a message
I think so, yeah.
just saying like, oh my God, I'm so like in awe of what you are doing on your own up there, because it was so humbling. It was like, okay, you can take your courage and put it into your backpack because this is dangerous. Like,
Okay, in fairness, Faha Ridge as well is quite exposed. Like you picked an exciting one to go up. For sure. Like, yeah. And it was also funny because people who aren't really into the outdoors but were following the project that I knew, they would be like, oh, and are you going to save like Carrantoul for like the last day, you know, some of the biggest mountain on the last day? And I was like, no, I'm saving the Reeks for when I have a blue sky perfect day. Because if I'm going to do the Reeks in one go, I want it to be perfect conditions. Like there is definitely a lot of areas where the order that I did the different mountain groupings in was all based on the weather forecast. Like, did it make sense for us to be driving an hour and a half across the peninsula in the other direction? Maybe not, but weather-wise and safety-wise and ability-wise, yeah, that was definitely a big factor as well.
yeah. And tell me, when you finished, did you? I always like to know. Did you feel a sense of relief, or did you actually, in the moment, did it come to you that you've just achieved something fucking hardcore? Like, was that the feeling, and was it, I am so fucking tired, I don't want to see mountains for another 3 months?
It was kind of strange because I guess it was such a long project that for the last couple of days, like for the last 3 days or so, I knew I was going to finish it. So that was really weird to have like that long an amount of time to be like, oh, whoa, I've done it. Or like, I will do it. Like at this point, I will do it. I will crawl to the end. Like I can't be this close and not. So yeah, no, there was definitely like this is really cool. I can't believe I've done it feeling. But also it had become so much my life for so long that I also couldn't really believe that it had an end. I didn't necessarily want to go back to the real world. Like I wanted to not have to go out in the rain. I wanted to, but I didn't want it to end. And actually, so the videos that we were posting, the daily videos, they were like a week behind real time. So I finished the whole thing and had like a week where nobody knew I'd finished. And that was like, so the pocket of like being outside of the real world extended that little bit. And so I had a couple of days where like I got home and I had a bath and I was lying around and I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure that all I'm going to want to do is sleep, obviously, right? And I was like, no, I kind of want to be outside. So I was up a new mountain before the world knew that I'd finished the other mountain project. Because it was just where I was really happy, and it kind of helped ground me. And like, as you said, the simplicity is addictive in a real way, and I knew that the like post adventure blues would hit at some point, so I was also trying to kind of preempt those by being like, look, it's not 100% over. Look, we're up a different mountain here in Sligo, still getting to look out over the sea and have a beautiful time. Life is still great.
And did that post adventure blues hit
Yeah.
after?
Yeah.
And how was that?
Like, despite, like, even though you know they're coming, or at least for me, even though I know they're coming, the fact that I know definitely helps, and definitely helps you manage it, but it doesn't stop it. And that's just the way it is. Yeah. So I think.
And how does it feel? Is the blues just that you just can't find a place for yourself? Is it I need to plan something next? What's next? I can't be sitting still. How does it?
I think
What's the word?
It's a case that real life doesn't feel real. Like, what ends up feeling like your real life is your time on trail, through hiking, or on the mountains, or doing whatever your big adventure is. That's what ends up feeling like the real world to you, because it is. It's you're interacting with nature, and then you have to go back to this other life where you answer emails and you work and you make money to hopefully eventually be able to go off on another adventure. And it kind of feels like that's the fake life that you have to spend more time in, which is a very simplistic way of describing it, but yeah. Maybe it makes sense to some people.
It absolutely does. Absolutely does. Especially to people who have tried that, who have gone on an adventure and realized how incredible that day to day think about food, sleep, and walk, like how beautiful that feels. And it is, you want to stay there. You don't want to go back to your life where you have to pay the bills and you have to do all the boring things that that unfortunately we all have to do. But
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. And so how long then after that project did you wait to start your Ardrings?
Oh, so I kind of started the Ardennes. So the Ardennes is another list of mountains in Ireland, which are they're over 500 metres, but if you've already done the Vandeleur-Lynam, so it's basically a list between 500 and 600. And I probably started them, so when did I finish? July. I think I started them in September, but with a lot more in my master plan to try and mitigate the post-adventure blues. I was like, okay, I'm not going at this with the intention that they're going to be finished in the next 6 months. I'm going to dribble them throughout my normal life so that I always have some adventure coming up on the horizon. So I'm still doing them, and it's like 3 years later. And I only had like it's so funny, like those 275 mountains got done in the space of weeks, and I have the next 200 and whatever peaks I've still not finished in 3 years. I pick them off as I end up in different areas. So if I have to go to Kerry for work, I'll pick off 3 or 4 in a corner, and if I'm in Dublin for work, I'll do another 5 or 6 here or there. I don't really have much. I've still some South Wicklow and some Southwest Wicklow left, but there are some areas now that are becoming a little bit barren. Yeah.
And tell me, so only was it last month that the screenings of the
Oh
Vandeleur-Lynam
yeah.
was done, and was it 3 or 4 places that
3.
it was 3 places that it was screened? How did that go? And are there more coming?
Yeah, so that was so much fun. So, because I guess Carl and I have been documenting what we do in the outdoors for so many years now, when the Vandeleur-Lynams came along, we kind of filmed and photographed as we went with no real plan or intention. It was more just, well, worst case, we have a really cool photo album at the end. Best case, we make something out of it. And I realized that there was definitely a like adventure short film potential, but I loved the project so much I was finding it really hard to edit it and to figure out what way I wanted the story to go. So I turned to my friends Matt and Connell, who run outsider.ie, and asked them if they'd be interested in doing something slightly more kind of long form compared to what they had been doing, and they were like, yeah, sounds great. So we filmed an interview of me chatting about the whole adventure, and then I just gave Connell a hard drive of all my footage, and I was like, okay, have fun. Which was really, really interesting. It's the first time I've ever just like handed off so much stuff to be like, yeah, I guess I'm just trusting you with it all now. So they finished that. Connell finished editing that at the end of last year, and then we scheduled, so we did the first screening at Wander Wild down in Killarney in April, and then did one here in Carrick and Shannon at the very end of April, and then the first one at the beginning of May in Dublin. And purely like I did 3 screenings because I'd never tried to organize screenings before. I'd never like contacted a cinema to be like, hello, do people rent a cinema screen for an hour? Is that something that people do? Can I do that? And it ended up being 3 because the cinema in Carrick and Shannon were really nice. Eclipse Cinemas. They were really nice. They gave me a really affordable rate. The same with UCD Cinema in Dublin. A couple other cities or towns that I looked at weren't in the budget this time because I didn't know how well it was all going to go or not go.
Yeah.
So that's why it ended up being those 3, which was really, really fun. And I feel like it meant that there was kind of, one in the northwest, one on the east coast, one in the southwest. I didn't cover everywhere, but I at least they were spread out a bit. I've applied to a few film festivals here in Ireland and in the UK. So those are all like the application process and all that like takes months. So I submitted all that only a few weeks ago after we finished the last screening. So I think I applied to I actually don't know how many. I just sat down one day and was, it was the laptop day. It was the day I was getting it done. Yeah. So I picked as many as I could afford to enter. And so by the end of the year, I'll know if any of them are interested in screening it. And if they're not, or whenever that happens, once that's all done, then it will go up on YouTube and then everyone will get to see it. So that will be really nice. I really look forward to that as well.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. And how was it watching yourself in a video that was produced by somebody else? Because you usually produce everything yourself. All the stuff that goes on YouTube and on social media everywhere, that's all you. But here you actually did something completely different where you actually handed over your stuff and said, okay, tell my story and say it well.
Yeah, I guess that was something that was really interesting. I feel like it was one of the first times where, like, to use the phrase you just used there, tell my story. Like, a lot of what I make for the internet, I feel like is less about me. You could take me out and drop any other person in, and it's still about showcasing the trail or the the Irish outdoors, whatever way that is. And I aim for it to be less about the person. So you're not really, it's not like, oh, look at me, I'm great. It's like, look at this really cool trail. And this was, I actually found myself feeling so much imposter syndrome because I felt like it was so much about me. I was like, no, this is way, like, and it wasn't even me saying, look at me, I'm great. There really wasn't that much of that in it at all. I feel like they did a really nice job of balancing all that and like discussing the adventure or whatever. But I still just felt such imposter syndrome to be like, yeah, I deserve a movie. I'm amazing. It just felt so wrong. It was so hard. Oh.
Well, it was the entire project that absolutely deserves the movie, like 100%. You know,
Yeah.
like I think.
I would love
yeah.
to see one about Shawnee's adventure because so when I finished the Vandeleur-Lynams, like I took a day out. There was only one day during it that I didn't summit a mountain, and that was to go to one of my friends' weddings.
Mhm.
So I knew from the get-go that you could definitely get it down. I was like, okay, if somebody went out and tried hard to set a record, it could definitely get into the 30s. And then next time I went to see Shawnee get into the 20s, I was like, oh my God, like, whoa. Does that man sleep?
No.
Does that man remember? Like, the whole thing was just be a blur. Like, like that is insane. So I would love to, yeah, if there had been a fly on the wall with a camera, to see that, because that would have been such a different experience. Like,
Yeah.
mind blowing. Yeah.
I could probably, like, he has long hair, so I could probably record Shanina, and Shanina is it was pure madness. That's just, let's just say that. It
Yeah.
was pure madness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sure, listen, that's the way he likes doing things.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But it's not about him here. So
No. Sorry.
And tell me as well, so you are really involved in, obviously, in the mountaineering scene in Ireland, and you also work with the, is it her in the outdoors weekend? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely I got invited to a few of their events in the past, and to go for free. They did like a weekend of getting women to try out loads of different sports, and it was also very good for them because they then got to photograph and film loads of women trying different sports, and so they have all their media assets for the next several years. But I just think, like, it's such, because it is properly nationwide, and because there's so much stuff for teens as well as adults, there's such a wide range of stuff for women and girls to try in the outdoors. Every year I promote it quite a bit on Tough Souls, because, like, I just know there are so many women out there not reaching their potential. I don't, like, potential is the wrong word, but like getting to experience the things that they can experience, just because they haven't taken that first step. And so, yeah, every year I really promote it quite a bit, just because I want to see it go further and reach further and see more. Yeah.
And do you help out there as well? Do you give talks during that weekend as well?
Have I done any of the events? I don't know. I didn't do anything last year. Last year I just posted about it, I think. But if anybody wants me to get involved in something this year, let me know.
Cheers.
No problem. Yeah. But let me know now. This is the thing about the outdoor calendar. The summer gets so chock-a-block that like I basically have my life planned from now until the end of October, more or less. And then it goes quite quiet, and then winter is time for training and doing other things and everything. But yeah, I have a lot in the calendar between now and then. Not to say that I can't fit in more. I can always fit in more. But yeah, this summer in Ireland gets really, really busy, and August gets really busy. I'm pretty sure it's August when it's her outdoors week. It's also Heritage Week, um, and like there's several kind of things back to back that overlap and stuff. So there's a lot of outdoor adventure potential.
Yeah. But it's great. It's a great excuse to be busy, isn't it?
Oh
To
yeah,
be out there and to be doing these things. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And tell me, because you promote women in the outdoors quite a lot, and you can see it when you go onto your social media platform. You really put it out there. You really care for women to
Yeah.
go out and to just to experience the outdoors. Can you tell me, where does it come from in you?
Where does it come from? I think I think when I started in the outdoor adventure sports realm over a decade ago, there were a lot less women. And I think I've seen that grow, and I know how much it does for me, not only physically, but mentally. Like, it is the reason I get out of bed in the morning. And it's crazy to have gone from being like one of four women in at a whole event to there now being 20 of us. And if it's doing so much for me and giving me so much, I can't imagine how many other women and girls there are out there that are missing out on this potential, potentially really empowering thing. Yeah, I've just seen it grow so much that I'm really, really excited, and I really want to see it keep growing. And that's not to say that, I'm I don't know, exclusively just like, yeah, women into the outdoors, like I do adventures with everybody. But I
Of
just
course.
see, yeah, but I just see such, like, actually, so something that's interesting with social media is that I will sometimes do a race or a trail or an adventure or whatever, and afterwards I will have, or I've made a video about it or whatever, and the next year when that race is coming around, I'll have guys message me and be like, I'm doing that. And I'm like, okay, you're giving me no other context, but have a great time, I guess. And then I'll have a woman message me with her 20-step plan and all the training she's done and this and that and the other. And she's questioning if she's ready or not. And I'm like, oh my God, you were so much more ready than I was when I did it. Like, you are going to crush it. You're going to be amazing. Um, yeah, and I feel very lucky to get to be often in this position to be like, yeah, no, you've got this. Go ahead and do it. And like, I believe in you. Because I think just culturally, there's been a lot of, like, women don't try and go for something unless they feel like they're going to succeed. And I'm still 100% in that boat as well. Like, I have not figured out the answer to get over that, but I feel really lucky that I get to try and help other women work through it as well, and go for things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it is true, and you see it so much. Like I coach a few women, and I'll have men reach out to me and say, "I want to do Carryway Ultra. It's like 4 months to the race, but I want to do it. Like I want to
Yeah.
run 200K." And I'm like, "Okay, let's think about it. Maybe it's not the best idea for this year, but let's think about it."
Yeah.
A woman will always, she will say, "I want to run a marathon." And she wants to have enough time, she wants to have enough resources, she wants to know that she can finish the perfect training block, like
Yeah.
perfect training block, not
Yeah.
just go out there and run. It has to be, everything has to be ticked off. And it's, yeah, I think by seeing other women do things, and not always perfectly. You kind of you don't even know that you're affecting other women when you do that, because then they see it and they're like, oh, okay, maybe my week that wasn't so perfect, it's not going to ruin my race. I can actually go and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've actually been such a victim of this for the last while. Like, I've had a couple of training blocks that don't go perfect, and therefore I haven't done the thing. And it's
Mm.
madness. Like, as I'm sitting here listening to yoga, I'm like, it is madness that I didn't at least go and try. But I didn't, because yeah, I am that perfectionist, and the training block didn't go perfect, and I didn't do whatever, and so I was like, oh, okay, no, I'll just roll on, and then I'll just roll into a new training block instead. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's so funny how even when you're aware of it, you still fall for it.
Yeah. But I think that's the one thing, not the one thing, there's many things, but that's one of the things that we should learn from men. Just sometimes to be a little bit more like, be grand.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I need to channel my inner dude and just be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll just go for it.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
also, like,
100%.
think was it last year that you were doing some freaking massive running streak as well, where you were running
Oh
every
yeah,
single day for how many
yeah.
days did you do that?
So I'm still on it. I've run for the last 580, 590 days. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
And yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. This niggle that I have in my hip is not great, so I might have to call it quits on the streak. Like, the streak has been
Mhm.
really, really, really fun. I've really enjoyed it. Like, it started off literally. I had had an injury, and the rehab had gone really well, and I was like stressed that the rehab had gone really well, but I hadn't recovered fast enough to get in the training for the event that I wanted to do. And so I was like, okay, you know what? We're getting rid of all this pressure, all this silly overthinking. I'm just going to run every day for a month and just have some fun. And that went like really, really well. I had a great time. And so I was like, oh, well, okay, that started in November. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just run until the end of the year. And so I did that. And then it was like, oh, well, the momentum's just here now. Sure, I'll just keep going until I hit a day where I can't. Um, and I might be looking down at that day any day now if this niggle in my hip turns into something more serious.
Mhm.
But that's also okay. That's also okay. The whole point of this thing was to get me out and get moving and get me in love with the thing that brings me so much joy. So if that
Yeah,
happens, oh well, that's fine. I'll
yeah,
pick myself up and I'll find something else and I'll keep going. Like, yeah.
exactly.
Um,
Knowing that you've managed to run over 500 days in a row, that's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there another project that you're thinking about, or planning somewhere in the background?
Yeah, as I said, I want to take a week. I think I've got one at the end of the summer where I've kind of penciled it in now that, like, I'm not letting any workbook in this week. And see kind of how the summer plays out and try and go and run some long trail, or a couple of trails back to back in that week. That would be really, really cool. Um, that's going to be the goal for the summer, I think, and have a lot of fun running. But if you've any big project suggestions, I'm also all ears. Um, I'll take any inspiration or any ideas going. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Um, I like multi-day. I don't think I need my next adventure to necessarily be 50 days.
Hmm.
That was quite a while. Something in the week to 2 week block, or maybe even a little less. Who knows? Would be cool. Um, yeah, yeah, and I'd like to like push myself a little hard this and see, but
Hmm.
yeah, so cross our fingers and have a good summer.
Absolutely, yeah. Get that hip
Yeah.
fixed first.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
make sure that's done, because yeah,
yeah.
we we know how it ends.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Uh, Tell me, just I have one more question, and it is, so women in the outdoors, and I've experienced that quite a lot, are very often asked, well, you're not afraid being there on your own. Um, that question comes back over and over again. And so, for you as a woman who's out there on your own
Yeah,
quite a lot, have
yeah.
you ever had an experience when you felt that this is not a place for you?
No. And the thing is, like, I actually got really annoyed at that question because I've been asked that question so many times. Like, and the thing is that I've also been on quite a few different outdoor panels at like conferences or events or whatever, and I'm the only woman on the panel, and it's like I feel very lucky to be there. But then I always get that question, and I feel like there are probably women out there who don't do outdoor activities, who want to step into that world, and they're sitting there listening to this panel, and they're like, oh, should I be afraid of the outdoors? Like, should I be wary? And I used to have an answer where I kind of talked about how the skills that I have, I know that I have the skills to keep myself safe in the mountains, and I know that I have these different parts of my background that are going to, protect me and empower me. And then I realized, no, I really need to actually be pushing back against this question, because all it's doing is making women who hadn't even reached that question suddenly be questioning whether or not they should be going outside if it's going to be safe. And it's not addressing the issue, which is if there are women who are going outdoors and not feeling safe, it is most likely because there is a man doing something in a harassing way. And so surely this question should actually be asked to my male counterparts on this panel, to what are they doing to fix this problem. Like, so yeah, no, I've never had that kind of experience. Like, I've had negative experiences in more urban environments and in car parks at trailheads. But once I am out on the hills and the outdoors, no. I know that I am fortunate to be able to say that, but no, like, the mountains themselves are so wild that by the time I'm 5k up the hill and I'm in the middle of nowhere and the wind's blowing sideways, anybody that I meet up there is just as crazy as I am, but in the right way. You know? Yeah. Sorry, I feel like that was a little bit of a rant, but it's been sitting
No,
inside
no.
me for a while.
But I think it's so important, because I know that, like, as I said, like, I've been asked that question so many times as well. And especially, training for ultra events, like, I would go out in the middle of the night and run in the dark, and people would just be like, you mad? Are you not scared? And I would always say, what am I to be afraid of? I like, the only thing that can happen to me is a deer runs out in front of me,
Yeah.
or I fall and I hurt myself, and that's the only. But that can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter whether
Yeah.
you're a woman or a man. It can happen. And I remember when I was in Poland, when I ran across Poland. So in Poland we have bears,
Yes.
and the question that was obviously asked was, well, are you not afraid as a woman, blah 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 blah, where is your husband? That was the second question.
Yeah.
And then there was the question, what will you do if you meet a bear? And I would always say, and what would a man do if he meets a bear? Like, a bear is not sexist. It's going to see a man or a woman, and it's just going to either attack or run away. It doesn't matter if either whether I'm a woman or a man. We have the same chances of surviving meeting a big animal. So I just I would always, like, yeah, it used to always kind of, especially if it was asked by a man, it would always annoy me. Like, how dare you asking? That,
Yeah.
like, yeah, where we just have to promote being out there as as you say, the possibility of something happening to you is probably more in the car park in the city center than somewhere on top of the mountain, because only wild and weird people go out there on their own.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's I feel like it's a hard thing to discuss and to like find that line of being like empowering without encouraging doing things that are beyond your ability. But then, as we've already said earlier on in this podcast, there are so many women who don't do something unless they feel like they're 100% there. So I don't really have the worry that I am suddenly going to be sending a flood of women who don't have the skills to be up the mountain, you know, jumping off of whatever cliff. Like, I believe in us all to have common sense and to have really fun adventures. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so, okay, one more question. Let's ask one more. And that's something that I ask a lot. Is if you were to meet your 16-year-old self, what would you tell her?
Oh, that outdoor education exists as a career opportunity. The number of friends I have who studied outdoor education in Mayo, in Castlebar, or in GMIT, or in Dublin, in Shackleton, or wherever, I did not know that was an option. And I think that would have, while I learned so much and really, really enjoyed the path I've taken through life, I would be really curious to see where she would have got to if she had started off in an outdoor education course and had gained those skills and that ability back when she was still a wee lass, and seeing what mountains she'd end up climbing. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
That's lovely. That's lovely. I love it's so Irish to call yourself a wee lass. Oh my god. Oh god. Ellie, I can't wait to see what's next, what you're going to come up
Thanks.
with and what you're going to show us. I also cannot wait to see your little movie. Little movie. No, not little movie.
It
That
is.
sounds
Well,
very
it's short
patronizing.
though.
Your movie. Your movie. Your incredible story. I can't wait to see it, and hopefully it will be screened when I'm back in Ireland. And if not, I'll wait to see it online. And yeah, it was so lovely talking to you, and I hope we will do it again in the future.
I am sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, that is stop. And that's a wrap. You've been listening to Chasing Rabbits. I hope you enjoyed your time spent with me. And if you did, please share it with a friend. Spread the love as much as you can. We will see you soon. And in the meantime, keep chasing rabbits.